Alright, in this problem we're asked to compute the first 10 iterations of Newton's method. We're given the function f of x is equal to 6 sine x plus 1. Given our initial approximation of x of 0 is equal to 0.5. Okay, and here's our formula for Newton's method. Okay, so if we're going, the first thing that we want to find is the first iteration. So we find x of 1. Okay, so notice that this is x of n plus 1, and this is x of n, so this is 1 less. So this is going to be x of 0, and so are both of these. So minus f of x sub 0 divided by f prime of x sub 0. Okay, so we're given that that is 0.5, so that is 0.5 minus f of 0.5 divided by f prime of 0.5. Okay, so the one thing we need to figure out before we can move on in this problem is what is f prime. Okay, so let's write that down here. Here's our original function, 6 sine x plus 1. So f prime of x is going to be 6 cosine x plus 1. Okay, term by term. All right, so at this point we're going to go to our calculator because we're going to be doing this 10 times. So we want a way that we can do this rather quickly, since it's 10 times. So what I've done is I've typed in the original function, f of x, 6 sine x plus 1 into y1, and in y2 I typed in the derivative function. Okay, so the reason that I wanted to do this is because now I can go out here to my home screen, and the first thing I'm going to type in is put 0.5 and hit enter. That way I can hit second and the negative sign, and it brings up answer. Okay, now that's going to make this a little easier for us. So here's what I'm going to do. Answer, so second negative sign, minus vars, y vars, enter on function, enter on y1, and so that's the thing that we typed into y1, which was the original function, which is this. So what value do we want in for the original function? Well, 0.5. So answer. Okay, there's a reason why I'm not typing 0.5 there. You'll see it in just a second. Okay, and then divide, and then remember the derivative function was in y2. So when I hit vars, y vars, I'm going to go down to y2 this time, and then also put the 0.5, which is the answer, in there. Okay, now I get my first iteration. So my first iteration here is negative 0.1985, how many ever decimals that you need. We'll say 6. Okay, now the problem is pretty much over. Even though we've got 9 more iterations, they're all going to go very fast now, because I can just hit second entry, and it types up the exact same equation that I had, except now my answer is not 0.5. The thing that's being typed in here is my previous answer. So we're using the previous iteration, which is this one, to plug in, which is what you would do if you did it on paper. You would say, okay, well, x2 is equal to x1 minus f of x1 divided by f prime of x1, which is negative 0.19856 minus f of negative 0.19856 divided by f prime of negative 0.19856. Okay, which is exactly what we've typed in, except we did it a lot quicker. Okay, because it's typing in the negative 1.89 and all the way out to the end every time that I put answer. So now I can just hit enter again, and I get my next iteration. Okay, so my next iteration of this is negative 0.14304. Okay, and if I want my third iteration, I hit second enter again, hit enter. There's my third iteration. Okay, enter, fourth iteration, enter, fifth iteration. So we keep getting new iterations, and that's rather quick, and that's done.